Hey YouTube, it's Tracy. This is my first in many, hopefully, vlogs that I'm going to start doing with my weight loss journey. It's just time. I know many of you probably feel exactly the way I do, and you've kind of reached your breaking point, or maybe for the first time, or if you're like me, you've gotten back to that same place once again. So just a little bit of backstory for me. I decided that I am going to go back to probably the program that I feel has been the most beneficial to me throughout life. I was an overweight child, starting at about the age of 9 or 10. Began to gain weight, and then set myself up for an obese adolescence, and I have struggled with my weight and been medically obese for pretty much my entire life. I have lost weight several ways. I cannot say I've probably lost 100 pounds or more over my lifetime, but I have never found a regimen that I was able to say I can consistently stick with and consider it a lifestyle. So that is what I am doing today. Actually, a week ago, I decided to go back to Weight Watchers, and I'm very excited about that choice. I believe in the program. I know that it works. I've had success in the past, but like I said, I just did not stick with it. And so a week ago, I realized that I'm at that place where I can't do this alone. I would love to maybe not spend money, all the reasons that we say, oh, I can do it with a friend, or I don't need anybody, I can just count calories. I've tried my Fitness Pal. I've tried many different ways to do it, and I just realized that I need the accountability. I need to go and stand in front of someone else and get on that scale and know that that is coming every week for, so that I can actually be really realistic about what's going on. And I need the program. I need to be able to follow something. I was telling the leader last week, whom I'm here in Tampa, Florida, and I attend a meeting on Friday mornings, and I was telling the lady when we did our orientation for new members about what it is, the reasons that brought us here. I was telling her that I'm a leader in every area of my life, just about, and yet when it comes to my weight, that is an area that I have never been able to gain any real control over, any real consistency. And I know for sure that I need to be led. So I need something that's going to allow me to follow it, that I can know that it's going to work, and that I know that I have a support system and a team. And so that was a revelation for me, just that I have always been in leadership, whether it was in school, in my organizations, just about every organization, my jobs, I've always been a leader. So I am looking forward to using Weight Watchers, to be led. So that's a foreign concept, but a new one that I'm embracing. I'm excited about that. So talking a little bit about my first week, I started to do an intro video last week. I had some hesitancy because I just didn't know how it was going to go. When it all comes down to it, I don't trust myself when it comes to issues of food and eating and weight loss and all that stuff. I apologize for the noise that you might hear. I'm sitting in a parking lot because I want to get this done today. I don't want to use any excuses as to not get started on this journey with you all. So last week I was hesitant to jump right in with my very first week and kind of put that on display, but you know what? I'm in it. So let's just say sitting in that first meeting was, I had more anxiety than I knew I would. I am a performer. I am a teacher. I teach voice and piano, and I sing on stage all the time. So being afraid of crowds or anything like that is not really my thing. I don't really have that, but I was surprised to feel very vulnerable and concerned. Just not really concerned about what everybody thought, but just I didn't know what to think that day. So I listened a lot. I gave a little bit of input, and then I went on my way and started my week. And oh wow, I have a lot of weight to lose, over 100 pounds, but I am looking at just the 100 pounds to start. That is my goal. And then I'm breaking up that goal into 10 times of losing 10 pounds. I think that's a much better way of approaching it than to look at the entire 100 pounds that I have to lose. So I started the week out, and I realized very quickly that it was going to show me just how out of control with my eating I am. And so it was a challenge. When I first got my points goal, we're doing the smart points. I thought, oh my goodness, I've got all these points. That's going to be too much food, because I've had that experience before with Weight Watchers, with it felt like too much food. And then you get these extra activity points. I'm not just the activity points, but then you get your weeklies as well. And that was another load of points. And so I thought, I've got this. Well, about 2 days into it, because I start on Fridays, I hit my weekend first. And with my boyfriend's birthday, going out and celebrating that with steak dinner, and just being a social creature, I found that I was eating above those points, and I couldn't believe it. So throughout the week, I started to get a little bit afraid, because I weighed at home just to see what my scale said, as opposed to what the Weight Watchers scale said, because I was actually shocked how high the weight was. I knew what I weighed on my scale at home, but it seemed like far more. And so it was just as close. And so needless to say, I got a little scared. Am I going to be able to do this program? I'm going to fail at this. I'm definitely not going to do that video thing that I was talking about. And then somewhere around Tuesday or Wednesday, I just decided to chill. I decided for the first time that I was going to trust the process and trust the program. And what I mean by that is, in previous times of doing Weight Watchers, I've found that there's all these philosophies about how the program works best. And people say, you should eat all your weeklies. You shouldn't eat all your weeklies. They're just there as an insurance policy, and you only need to stick to your day-to-day, your dailies. And because I was so out of control, sticking to my dailies was impossible. At least it felt that way. And so around Tuesday or Wednesday, when I was having to eat literally 6 points over, 7 points over, I just decided to trust the program. And it was scary, because I was like, I'm going to show back up at this meeting on Friday, and I'm going to have failed on my very first week of starting Weight Watchers, and I'm gonna look ridiculous. I'm gonna look like a fool. I knew I shouldn't have done this. You know, all the negative tapes that can play in our heads, or definitely play in mine anyway. And so I got to the meeting this morning, and to my surprise, I was down 2.2. So I'm very excited about that, because I ate a lot of food last week. I ate a lot of desserts and candy. You're asking me why I have this bag. This is actually for my students, because I'm a teacher, and so at the end of their lesson, they